You won't believe how a single moment of silence changed his entire life. It was a hot, still afternoon in the heart of the village, and Arun sat cross-legged under the ancient Bodhi tree, feeling the weight of stagnation pressing on his chest. Recently, a deep sense of being stuck had crept into his life. No matter how much he meditated, how many books he read, or how many walks he took, the sense of being lost lingered. Arun felt as if the world around him was moving forward, yet he remained frozen. One day, as he sat by the riverbank, watching the gentle flow of water, an old monk, Master Chen, approached him. The monk had always been a figure of mystery in the village, known for his wisdom, but rarely seen offering it. Without a word, the monk sat beside Arun, letting the quiet settle between them. After a long silence, Master Chen spoke, his voice soft like the breeze. The river flows without resistance, yet it never remains in one place. Why do you think you are different, Arun? Arun looked at the monk, unsure how to respond. The monk's words were simple, but they stirred something inside him. I feel stuck, Arun admitted. I feel like I have lost my way, my purpose. Master Chen nodded, as if he had expected this answer. Do you think the river ever questions its path? It flows, it adapts, and yet it never asks where it is going. It simply is. And through its flow, it nourishes all life around it. Arun thought about the river, the effortless way it moved, and how it continued on its course regardless of obstacles. For a moment, he felt a glimmer of something inside him, but it quickly faded. I understand, but I do not know how to find that same flow within myself. The monk smiled gently. When a river encounters a rock, does it stop flowing? No. It flows around it, over it, or sometimes it carves through it, slowly but surely. Inspiration is much the same. Sometimes it is hidden behind obstacles, but it never disappears. Arun frowned. But what if the rock is too big? What if the obstacles are overwhelming? Master Chen's eyes gleamed with kindness. There is no obstacle too big if you are patient enough. Sometimes when we feel stuck, it is because we are resisting the natural flow of life. We cling to how we think things should be, rather than accepting them as they are. Arun sighed, feeling a sense of frustration. But how do I let go? How do I stop resisting when I do not even know what I am resisting? The monk closed his eyes for a moment, as if searching for the right words. You resist because you believe that you must always be moving forward, that every moment must be filled with purpose and progress. But in truth, sometimes the greatest progress comes in stillness. It is in those quiet moments when we stop trying so hard to move that we allow the inspiration to find us. Arun stared at the river, watching the water swirl and dance around the rocks, never stopping, always moving. And yet, there was a peacefulness in its movement, a sense of effortless flow. Could it really be that simple? Could inspiration come from stillness? The next morning, Arun rose before the sun, determined to try something different. Instead of seeking answers, instead of forcing himself to find motivation, he decided to simply be. He sat under the Bodhi tree once more, but this time he did not meditate with a goal in mind. He did not seek enlightenment, nor did he ask for clarity. He simply sat, breathing in the cool morning air, listening to the sounds of the world awakening around him. As the minutes passed, Arun felt his mind begin to settle. The usual flood of thoughts and worries began to quiet, like the ripples of water after a stone has been thrown. He focused on the present, on the feel of the earth beneath him, the sound of the birds in the trees, and the warmth of the sun on his skin. For the first time in a long while, he allowed himself to simply exist, without needing to do or be anything more. And then, as if from nowhere, the inspiration came. It wasn't a grand revelation, nor was it a bolt of lightning striking from the sky. It was a gentle whisper, a quiet knowing that rose up from within him. In that moment of stillness, Arun realized that the answers he had been searching for were not outside of him, but within. The problem was not that he had lost his way, but that he had been too focused on finding it, rather than letting it find him. Over the next few days, Arun continued to practice this stillness. Whenever he felt the familiar sense of being stuck creeping in, he would stop, breathe, and remind himself that inspiration, like the river, would flow when the time was right. He did not need to force it. He did not need to search for it. All he needed to do was to create the space for it to arrive. As he embraced this new way of being, Aaron began to notice changes in his life. The tasks that once felt overwhelming now seemed manageable. The goals that once felt out of reach no longer weighed him down. And most importantly, he began to feel a renewed sense of purpose, not because he had found it, but because he had allowed it to find him. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Aaron found himself once again by the river, sitting in quiet reflection. Master Chen appeared beside him, as if summoned by the very flow of the river itself. "You have found your way," the monk said softly. Aaron smiled, feeling the truth of the monk's words in his heart. "I stopped searching for it. I let it come to me." Master Chen nodded approvingly. "The river does not need to know where it is going, yet it always finds its destination. So too will you, as long as you remain open to the flow of life." And with that, the monk rose, leaving Aaron alone by the river. But this time, Aaron did not feel alone. He felt connected to something greater, something deeper. He knew that as long as he stayed present, as long as he allowed the flow of life to guide him, inspiration would always find its way to him.